behind the scenes with future country rock blues kings and queens. Discover them first with Palm Mash TV. Palm Mash TV.
Well, hello there, it's Paul Mash TV time again. Thank you so much for joining us. Another great interview is coming shortly. But before we begin, there's that subscribe and bell button below you there. Click those and you'll always be notified of any new episodes coming your way. And leave a comment on the comment section if you'd like. We'd love to hear from you there. And if you pay attention to the description part as well as the closing credits, you'll find contact info for you. So I hope you'll stay tuned for that. From Deer River, Minnesota, today we have Killa, and he's another great artist. I think you're really going to like him, and we're going to get to that in a second. But first, here's a quick word from the Caden Gordon Show and Woody's Drumsticks. And at checkout, type Paul Mash TV at checkout, and I think I just said that, didn't I?
It is Caden from the Caden Gordon Show. Today's best country mix. Check out my show at thecadengordonshow.com.
At Woody's Drumsticks, we focus all of our sticks on being a hair longer than everybody else's. Why? Well, all of our sticks are going to be going through the same quality control process as every other stick on the planet. However, the extra length gives you an extended reach, so you can reach for higher cymbals. It makes the sticks last a little longer. We put our shorter taper at the end, which gives more girth in the base of the stick and allows you to play for longer, better, stronger, faster. So once you switch from one brand to Woody's, you'll never go back, and that's a guarantee.
All right, we're back, and with us from Deer River, Minnesota, we have Killa with us today. Thanks for joining us, Killa.
Hey, thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
Yeah, we're glad to have you here. Tell us a little bit about the story about how you started in the music business. I mean, did you always want to be an artist? Did you grow up in a musical family? Everyone has their own story, though. Tell us about your story.
So, yeah, I do have a kind of a musical family. My dad sang in bands as a kid, or for me, when I was a kid, and my mom did, like, music promo stuff and did a little bit of schooling for like label management and things like that. And I just kind of absorbed it as a kid. And I started as like a drummer just with a rock background. And through the years, I had lived in different places where you can play loud instruments and you can't type thing. And I worked on learning these new things when I, adapting to whatever to stay musical, and got into the, the beat making and all this hip hop stuff too. So.
Okay, well, that's a great story, and I know you have many years ahead of you, so I hope you do well there.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about the influences you've had. I mean, I'm sure a few legends come to mind.
My musical range, what I listen to, what I like is huge. Like I said, I come from like a rock and roll background, so for me, it's like a lot of the 70s, 80s bands. I really like legends, Ozzy Osbourne, R.I.P. I'm actually very in depth with a lot of bands and a lot of musicians that people probably don't even know. Like this guy plays guitar for this band, etc. And people be like, "Oh, I didn't know his name, but I love that song by this band." So it's kind of hard for me to name all the legends and stuff. But I found a lot of influence from the rock and roll stuff, like I said, and throughout the years, I adapted to these other jobs and I started getting into like different environments where I worked at a country festival for a couple of years. So I started seeing a little more, and there's a lot of country legends. I really like Johnny Cash, Merle Haggard, some of the older outlaw country, Jerry Reed, those type of guys. But then I'm over here with Ozzy and Led Zeppelin and Van Halen, Motley Crue, Kiss. The fire and the blood and the girls, and made me, kind of want to be a rock star. And then you get over to the hip hop stuff, and it's, producing legends like Dr. Dre, even down to like Quincy Jones. I don't know. There's all kinds of stuff that I draw inspiration from.
Yeah, there's a lot of great ones you mentioned too, and I can see where you get your sound from there, basically. Well, tell everybody how we can find more about you. I mean, I'm sure you're on streaming media, social media. Maybe you have an official web address. Tell everybody about all that.
Yep. So we have bedberrymusic.com. You can go on there, and unfortunately, that's pretty much just the hip hop stuff. That doesn't really cover the DJ or all the rock projects or the country projects, anything like that. However, if you find me on Facebook or Instagram, that kind of all the video drops, all the flyers, like one big portfolio you're going to see. And I'm sharing it into these different groups to, if you're in that group, you're going to see it twice in your feed, make sure that you guys get that type of thing. But Bedberry Music across the board. If you Google Bedberry Music, it'll pop up like DJ Killa Beat for a lot of my personal stuff. But yeah, Bedberry Music on all platforms: Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Apple Music, Deezer, Tidal, etc. YouTube, I have an actual page that's Bedberry Music, not the Bedberry Music topic page. But that'll have like DJ Killa Beat logo with the knives, the record, and the ZMP. About 1,000 subscribers. It has all of our music that is not on all of the streaming platforms. It pretty much has everything that we've done that I've either mixed and mastered for somebody, or I just produced the beat, or it's our song, or that type of thing. There's some music videos on there. There's playlists like our video right now. There's podcast playlists. There's live clip playlists, music videos. So if they want to find me, YouTube's probably the best. But I say social media, Instagram or Facebook.
Okay, well, check him out on all those social media and streaming media platforms there, and I know he would love you for that. And I do believe the name of this song is called Coming from the Soda, I do believe it's called.
Yep.
Tell us a story about that. There's got to be a great story behind the song.
So actually, this is kind of a cool story. This is the very first song that I produced, wrote, and recorded. So it's kind of like my baby song-wise. It's one that I'm kind of most proud of. I actually heard a Tech Nine song called Godspeed, and he said something that sounded, and it was not, but it sounded like Ain't No Coming from the Soda, and he's Midwest, so it's like, how you going to hate on a Midwest spot? So I kind of caught the inspiration going, what you mean ain't no coming from the soda? And Tech Nine is known for fast rapping, which is called chopping. So it got some choppers on deck, let me show you. Midwest Music King Fire Flow was Flow Cold Frostbite Minnesota. So I come up with this hook, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, I need to what can I write a verse? I need a verse. This is really cool because I made the beat. Now I got a hook for it. And I started like writing about like drumming and the music grind and how I'm back in it and I'm producing, and me and my brothers are working on all this stuff and shouting out like Boss Body, which was the company me and Trey started. Trayvon, you know him. And, I just came up with this cool song, and it was just like, whoa, like that's what really showed me like I can make some awesome music. And I did it all under like 12 hours. So I was excited about that.
Okay, well, it is a great song, and I think you guys are going to agree, and we're going to get to that song in just a moment or so. But before we do, I want to thank you, Killa Beat, for being on the show today. We loved having you. We'd like to welcome you back anytime you want to plug something new.
Absolutely. Thank you again for having me. I was excited.
Yeah, no problem. Anyway, here it is, Down from the Soda by Killa Beat. It begins right now.
This is legendary production. Midwest Music King Fire Flowers, Flow Cold Frostbite Minnesota. What you mean ain't no coming from the soda? Got some choppers on deck, let me show ya. Midwest Music King Fire Flowers, Flow Cold Frostbite Minnesota. On the throne behind the kid where I sit, when I be flipping and spinning my sticks. Half time, full time, double time. No problem, I be killing that shit. Write the shit while I'm ripping this sip. Got a pen and a pad baked tips. Homies saying they don't like my shit. Watch okay, they can suck my dick. Motherfuckers on the track wanna try me. Fade his ass, had tricks, no hockey. But the fuck up the track and feeling cocky. Killer tricks, passion, not a fucking hobby. Back up in this bitch, I'm producing. Always running, Charlie Sheen, no goofing. Got a dream, I'm chasing, making music. Independent, grinding all night, no snoozing. In the studio, grinding all the time. Loud money, I'm stacking mine. Minnesota music, money, making motive masterminds. Killing tracks while I'm busting rhymes. When the beat drop, keeping time. Going back to with all these rhymes. If you cat in a hat, wax passing on the track like my name was Tech Nine. So you better clear the lane, it's mine. Boss Body claim the lane, we shine. So bow down like the shit west side. Because you know for our brothers we ride. So roll up that blunt, let's fly. Higher than a hippie in a helicopter high. Getting trippy, time to warp my mind.